Hello everybody, this is the third video. I've decided to combine two different types of chords in this video, not just the Diminished Triad, but also the Augmented Triad. So we're going to get into that today. So the Diminished Triad, based scalarly, are one of the two unique types of triads. The first one is diminished. The reason why it's unique is because instead of having alternating major and minor thirds, this one is exclusively minor thirds. So minor third on top of minor third. Minor third on the bottom, minor third on the top. This creates the Diminished Triad. Now we're going to practice this exactly the same way as the other ones, but this one has a special role. That is, it's the only one that occurs naturally in the major scale, and that is on the 7th scale degree. In the key of C, that would be B. Diminished Triad on the 7th. No matter what scale you're playing, the 7th scale degree will always be a Diminished Triad, no matter what major scale you're playing. Now, this is written as C Dim 7, or C Dim for diminished, or C with the diminished symbol. The diminished symbol is a degree sign, like Celsius or Fahrenheit. You have a little circle in the superscript. That would be that's the degree sign or the diminished sign for chords. So this would be a C diminished triad. This would be a C sharp diminished triad. Same thing. Same interval structure. Minor third, minor third. Scalarly, it would be 1, flat 3, flat 5. So whatever scale you're playing the first scale degree, the third scale degree lowered by a half step, and the 5th scale degree lowered by a half step. So that's the Diminished Triad. You practice it the same way as the other ones. Minor thirds, minor seconds, block chords first, then arpeggiations. And so on, going up and down. Now the next one is the Augmented Triad. This is the other special case because for two reasons. There is no Augmented Triad that appears in the major scale. None. It doesn't show up. It's all major, minor, with one diminished. The Augmented Triad shows up in the whole tone scale, which is all half. No. It's a scale that contains nothing but whole steps. No half steps at all. You may have heard this when people are talking about dream sequences in movies. That sound, that's the whole tone scale. They practice these the same way as the other ones. Now the structure of these is, instead of being nothing but minor thirds, you have nothing but major thirds here. Major third on the bottom, major third on the top. In the major scale, you'll be playing 1, 3, and sharp 5. Notice how all the triads are some variation of 1, 3, and 5. The major triad is 1, 3, and 5. The minor triad is 1, flat 3, 5. Diminished is 1, flat 3, flat 5. Augmented is 1, 3, sharp 5. Now the way that I practice those, once you know all 4 types of chords, you practice them in the same way as the other ones, except for as you're going up, you alternate between each of the chords, going back and forth between major and whatever chord you're going to. That sounds complicated, but this is what it is. Start with the major triad, then minor, back to major, diminished, back to major, augmented, back to major. So major, minor, major, diminished, major, augmented, back to major. So minor, diminished, augmented. This way it saves time, as you can just go through all of them right up and down without having to think, okay, now I'm going to do minor triads, now I'm going to do major triads. It's better you can do both of those because it'll help you in different situations. But I find this way is faster if you're just trying to get the structure of the chords down. You're going to have to do the other one anyway, but yeah, it's going to happen eventually. You're going to have to go up and down. Yeah, people write stuff like that more now, so you're going to have to get used to that. But when you're just learning, start with the root key and play all your triads of that root, of that type of key. Then just go up and down. Some tunes have started with just that idea. Like if you heard the James Bond music. Same thing, you're doing the same exercise. Except for they're changing the chords slightly, but the idea of moving up by half step is not uncommon. Moving down by half step isn't uncommon either. Half steps are everywhere, so you have to practice them anyway, so you might as well get used to moving by half step. You can move by whole step too. Minor third, major third, whatever floats your boat. You're going to have to do all of them eventually, so you might as well. Alright, so that is Augmented Triads start out as part of the whole tone scale, of course. But one thing to remember is that it does not show up in the major scale. Don't forget that. The next thing, how augmented chords are written. They are written as either the letter, and then you have AUG after it. AUG, augmented. Or you have a plus sign. The plus sign is basically the universal augmented symbol. So if you have C plus, it's not slightly better than average. You're talking about C augmented. That was terribly forced. Anyway, C augmented, C sharp augmented, D augmented. Practice them exactly the same way as the major triads. Now these are the basic major triads: major, minor, diminished, augmented. There are variations, like you have the sus4, the sus2, you have the flat 5. Variations of that, but these are the basic triad that all these are based on. The next video will be on sus chords. I kind of jumped ahead, but yeah, this is just to get you to the point where you can do all the basic triads. So, have fun.